The college football playoff selection committee could give a good damn that Miami beat Notre Dame in a head-to-head. And believe it or not, Ohio State, Michigan has more implications than you might think. And that number 15 ranking is doing a lot of work. What's up, kinfolk? It's RJ Young. I am not on a step mill. If this is your first time watching, adapt and respond. Thank you for joining us here. We talk college football year round. If you're into that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Like this video and answer the question in the comments below. Do you believe that Miami is a better football team than Notre Dame? And if you don't, do you acknowledge that they beat Notre Dame and they should be ranked ahead of Notre Dame with the same number of losses? Before we get to that, I also want to ask this question dead ass. Did you know that Michigan and Ohio State could play each other back-to-back weeks? I'm sure that there is some degenerate out there who bleeds Ohio State scarlet and gray and bleeds maize and blue that understands and knows without needing to look it up. There is a scenario in place for which Michigan and Ohio State could play not once but twice before even getting to the college football playoff, right? So Michigan moves up to number 15 ahead of Texas, which is only interesting because Oklahoma beat Michigan and Texas beat Oklahoma. Now, 2 losses is 2 losses, so I don't know exactly what it is that we be arguing about when we talk about these things because you got 2 losses except when they have head-to-head. The transitive property is not really doing that much work. It's one of those talking points that I like to use and other talk show hosts like to use because we don't have the head-to-head. If we had the head-to-head, we talk about the head-to-head, right? Oklahoma and Texas played. Texas beat Oklahoma. Problem with that is they got the same number of losses, got 3 losses. Texas lost to Ohio State, lost to Florida, lost to Georgia, right? So the 2 loss, 3 loss doesn't really factor here. For Michigan, it's more like, is this one win going to trump so many other wins for other programs? And I think the short answer to that is yes. You beat an undefeated Ohio State that seems to be running away with the number 1 ranking the way that Oregon did last year, frankly, only to get into a bye. I think the Buckeyes are just a little bit better built and resilient when it comes to managing the schedule and managing themselves so that time off probably is not going to hurt them in the way that it hurt Oregon. That said, this is the game that you need to win, right? You win this game, you worry about the rest of it later. But if Michigan were to win this game, it becomes a problem for literally everybody else. So number 15 Michigan, say they beat Ohio State, just for the sake of argument. What this could end up being is a rematch in the Big Ten championship game if some things happen. So I'm going to read this because it feels like Ohio State, Indiana, A&M, all virtual locks to make the college football playoff. It's just a matter of where they'll be seated following conference championship weekend. But then there's this. The Wolverines have a path not to just play in the college football playoff, but to face Ohio State for the second straight week in a Big Ten title game. If Michigan beats Ohio State and Oregon and Indiana both lose, Michigan and Ohio State in the Big Ten championship game. That would mean Purdue has to come up with the upset of upsets against Indiana. It would also mean that Washington has to beat Oregon. It means Michigan has to beat Ohio State. We'd have to have 3 straight upsets is what that would have to be. And the one that seems most likely, right, is the Michigan-Ohio State one because they're so close. They're closely matched in a way that Oregon and Washington are not closely matched. In the way that Purdue and Indiana might as well be different galaxies. It's just not likely to happen. But it is an interesting talking point, right? Because all this has to hinge on Michigan beating Ohio State. And Ohio State's doing everything in its natural-born life and power to make sure that does not happen. Going into the darkness, coming out with the water, going, all right, King Piccolo, I'm ready for round 2. That is what they're about going into the season or going into this year. And this loud noise around not just Michigan having won the last 4 times that they played, but this loud noise around your national championship doesn't mean as much as our national championship because we beat your ass to get one and we were undefeated. Y'all went 14-1. Congratulations. 15-1, excuse me. Congratulations. That don't mean much to us, right? 14-1 because they didn't play Big Ten championship. My fault. I don't live there. I live in a place where I won the national championship, but if you live there, you got to win this football game. So there's the Big Ten. Now with Notre Dame in the ACC, my God, guys, I don't know. Nothing at Hunter Yurachek is making sense to me because they both got 2 losses. we know that Notre Dame lost to better football teams than Miami, but there's this other thing where Miami and Notre Dame played each other, and Miami beat Notre Dame that they do not care about, which means that the whole season doesn't matter. So people want to tell me that, not every game matters when you start to extend the playoff. If we're going to throw away week 1 and week 2, then none of it matters. I get that teams got a narrative. I get that they evolve or they regress over time. But if you're going to make it up into who's on form, well, hell, man, nobody starts playing football till November anyway. And then you're going, well, that's why we don't need rankings. Oh, my God. Okay, cool. You don't like rankings. Do you like a scoreboard? Do you like the thing where they played each other and that team beat the other one? Because that's why we play the game. I want to be better than you. And I want to prove that in front of the world on a fair table with fair rules. Miami whooped them. It's rare. We all watched it. Several million people watched it. And if it sounds like I'm getting upset about this, it's because I am. This is bordering on nonsensical. We're making it up as we go along here, or we're allowing these suits to make it up as going along here. I've had it with this, man. If I win, then I win. I watched The Running Man remake last night. It's a bad movie. I do not recommend it. But the idea of the game being rigged, yeah, dog, it feels that way right now. Because we get into Selection Show Sunday, and these rankings are still the same, we're going to throw a fit. And if we get into Selection Sunday and these rankings change, yo, man, did y'all just manipulate this because you wanted to have higher ratings? Is the question that needs to be asked, because that's what it seems to have done. All while, by the way, Tulane is the highest ranked group of 6 team, and we got a tiebreaker scenario where North Texas, if they beat Temple, goes 11-1, best season ever had, gets boxed out of the American Championship. Why? Even with the head-to-head against Navy, some things can happen. Okay? Say Navy beats Memphis for one of those things to happen. But the second tiebreaker is the college football playoff selection shows rankings. So if you are ranked highly in the American by this group of suits, that's the tiebreaker. Imagine North Texas not being ranked and Tulane being ranked, and that to be the team that gets into the college football playoff. Get me out of here. This is oh my God. I love college football. I really do. These suits are screwing these things up, and for once, I feel like Greg Sankey, which I did not expect to be the thing.